did not end well for him. So this guy, let's call him JFK. Now JFK's whole act is to harass people in public.
Quit videoing, stop!
To the point where they get pissed off at him and lash out.
Your TikTok is trash. You're trash.
That's rude.
You're trash.
I mean, he's got a whole YouTube channel where he films himself doing this stuff. But one day, it all goes wrong. So he and his buddies are at the local mall ready to pull this prank. And they're gonna harass someone with an iPhone or something. I don't know, it's stupid. So they find their victim, this DoorDash delivery guy, whom we'll call Punisher. And needless to say, Punisher is not like this prank.
Now my business won't help them. Stop. Stop.
So this is the part where Punisher pulls out a Pum Pum and blasts him in the stomach. Now obviously I can't show you that part, but it kind of looks like this. Now, I know you're on the verge of tears right now, but don't worry, JFK survived. He's fine. But the news of all this quickly went viral around the internet. And weirdly enough, it felt like most people were against the prankster.
This is what he gets. Stop doing prank videos.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
It might just be one of those F around and find out situations.
Imagine getting shot and the internet roots for the guy who shot you. Now, of course, Punisher was arrested and charged because admittedly his response to being pranked was, you know, over the top. So the case goes to trial and plays out in the court system. And one of Punisher's arguments was that he shot the prankster in self-defense. Now, did the jury of his peers believe he shot the YouTube prankster in self-defense? Yeah, they did. They found him not guilty. However, they did find Punisher guilty on a lesser charge of basically shooting a Pum Pum in a mall. So he will spend some time in prison for that. Now, did JFK learn anything about harassing people in public? Of course he didn't. He's still doing it. Here he is like a month ago pissing people off in the airport. Like police had to eventually come and detain him.
Okay, you know what? You're detained.
Anyway, this all happened in Sterling, Virginia, so shout out to Virginia.
Some of you have noticed that I am back to my Galaxy Note 9. That's not by choice. Roll the tape.
Sebastian here showing impressive speed setting up for his pool party.
That's some great hustle from the veteran.
It sure is, Jacob, but here's where it falls apart. The AirPods come out of the pocket right here and...
Oh, right into the drink.
Sebastian knows that in seconds that pool water will kill them.
He's forgotten his phone is right here, and it ends up fully submerged.
That small error is going to cost him big, Jacob.
You hate to see it, Riley. A big mistake from a small man.
He is very small.
Okay, I maintain that that was a controlled entry into the pool, but in my rush to finish my preparations, I did forget about the phone, which sat in that soggy pocket for about the next half an hour, and long story short, I ain't fine, which is a completely foreign experience for me. The thing is, growing up, I used whatever was given to me by my parents, which was whatever came free on contract, then whatever my work issued me, then I started this gig, and I switched to using whatever I was reviewing at the moment. The problem is, I don't really review phones anymore. So, for the first time in my life, I'm going to be buying a new phone. And, in a giant role reversal move, I'm gonna let you guys pick it. I'm probably going to regret this, but I solemnly swear to immediately buy and daily drive whatever gets the most votes from our community, give it the full review treatment for a month, and then report back to you on the experience. All I need from you is a bit of your time to talk about my requirements and to talk about our sponsor.
There's nothing sadder than when your brand new game doesn't run on your potato PC. Nothing is sadder than that. But it's a sadness that can be rectified by checking out Build Redux at the link below.
I love memes as much as you guys do, but the thing is, I use my phone for work a lot, and I can't be stuck on a Nokia 3310 or something. So let's lay out some ground rules. 1, it needs to run a recent version of Android or iOS. Sorry, Windows phone owners. 2, it's gotta have a touchscreen. 3, it has to work on North American cellular bands. And 4, finally, if it's an Android phone, I need Google Play Store support so that I'm not spending half of my time role-playing as the APK hunter. With those hard rules out of the way, let's talk soft requirements and preferences, starting with operating system. The benefits of iOS are many. It often gets the best versions of apps and better support for smart devices. Ecobee thermostats, for example, often fail to complete their Wi-Fi setup on Android, but they always work on an iPhone. And iOS devices also get excellent long-term software support, which can have real-world benefits, even for frequent upgrades. Since the mishap, I've fallen back to my old Note 9, and I would be having a much better time right now if I'd gone with an iPhone 10 at the time. This thing is laggy as heck. I'm also kind of curious to try out CarPlay. I like Android Auto well enough, but there are weird behaviors from time to time, like random failures to resume music playback, and this weird interface issue I've had recently where it's really hard to just get to the app list. So maybe it's better on the dark side. Or maybe it isn't. Having spent the last 5 straight years on Android, at least it's the devil I know. Though, with that said, I'm mostly familiar with the Samsung skin, so there could be a learning curve either way. I mean, I'm sure I could seamlessly switch to a Pixel or something, but if I ended up with a crusty China-only skin that's cluttered with non-English language apps and doesn't even have proper Netflix support, that would kind of suck. Or Sony's skin that honestly seems great, other than the fact that for some obtuse reason it doesn't allow you to move the back button over to the right-hand side. Other than that, I don't actually use much of the customization that Android offers, so I am mostly indifferent to my operating system. Except, I do care about side-loading a fair bit. I recently imported a smart product that isn't technically available in Canada, and therefore doesn't have its companion app in the Canadian versions of the App Store or the Play Store. So side-loading was the only way to get it. Oh, and I guess the Android world offers a lot more variety on the hardware side. Like if you want cool features like a foldable screen or a built-in thermal camera, Android is the only game in town. Also, I strongly prefer fingerprint ID to facial ID. It's not a privacy thing, I just find it faster because before I'm even looking at the phone, it's unlocked and ready to go. The last thing I'll say on the software side is digital assistants might be a major consideration for some people, but as far as I can tell, they pretty much both suck donkey tail these days, so realistically, call quality is a way more important thing to me. I've found myself dropping more phone calls than computer parts lately with my Fold 3.
Look, hey, cause
I'm in Canada, meaning that anything with strong reception for calls on the common bands up here would definitely be a plus. And, oh, this is a fun fact, by the time this challenge is over, we should be capable of empirically testing cellular reception in our EMC chamber, so we'll be able to let you guys know if you picked a good one or if you screwed me over. Another thing is speed. This is a funny one because for the longest time, I felt like phones are all kind of fast enough, but as it turns out, if you regress far enough, you do really feel it. Now, part of that is the stark contrast with the more modern device that I've been using lately, but a bigger part of it is that while your old phone stayed the same, the rest of the world moved on. Everything from your apps to the websites you visit to even the operating system it's running has gotten more complex and more demanding. I don't game on my phone though. Like the most demanding things I do are watch 4K videos and load large spreadsheets in Google Sheets. So as long as navigation and loading times are snappy, I'm honestly not going to notice the difference if you guys go for last year's model or if you kit me out with a Snapdragon Gen 3.2 2x2 or whatever. As for durability, anyone around here can tell you that I live my life in a perpetual state of semi-distracted multitasking. So while it is rare for my phone to experience a full screen down concrete smackdown, you can see from my longest surviving device here that I do drop my phone once in a while. A problem that is exacerbated by the fact that I prefer to go caseless. That means that the iPhone's robust accessory market means very little to me, but if I could get something that similarly uses extra strong modern glass recording, it
Yeah.
might keep something.
Sure.